Sacha, take us through. How have you ended up at a business aviation conference?
Can you hear me? Yeah, it's working. Good morning, everyone. Very excited to be here on stage to talk about crypto and how we help the aviation industry. So I started in infrastructure originally. I was selling wallets and the whole banking and crypto infrastructure for companies like Deus. And Deus was my client. The company I was working for back then sold to PayPal, and but they just wanted the tech, so they let me go and found me a job in one of our clients that was Deus. Back then, we just had a small OTC desk, a small trading platform, I would say, for a net of individual, asset managers, pension funds in the UAE and abroad. That's how we started in 2018. We traded like this for a few years, and then at the turn of 2021, the real estate industry, and Damak in particular in the UAE, for those of you who know the brand, came to us to ask for a solution to accept crypto without accepting crypto. Actually, that was their mandate. They wanted to have crypto clients, to have clients paying for properties in crypto, but just get the dirhams in the bank account, nothing in between. They don't want to even know what happens. They just want the money in the bank account, people paying in crypto. So that's what we did. We actually, at first, showed them just a QR code to their client, receiving the crypto, making the conversion, and that's how we started into payment, actually.
And just going back to you going into crypto, how did you first get into it personally?
Personally, just reading things about Bitcoin, seeing the technology behind it, seeing the price increasing quite a lot. When I started to get into it, it was $400. I was studying at that time, so extremely broke. So $400 was already too expensive for me to buy. I should have taken my student loan into Bitcoin instead of paying for my accommodation in Nottingham back then. But I started like this, very interested about the technology. I was studying in Nottingham University back then. I did Erasmus then. And I wrote my thesis about Bitcoin and the technology behind it and the ecosystem, how it was in 2015, so much smaller than today. It was just about new coins, new cryptos, everyone changing the world, the technology behind it, behind blockchain, transparency, how all of that works was super interesting. So that's how I got into it. Bought a couple of Bitcoin, sold everything in between. I'm actually more red than green on my exchange, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't trade anymore.
And we've got a vote up now for the audience, but hands up in the audience who actually has some Bitcoin or digital current. Okay, it's definitely rising as a group.
More than last year, I think.
Although everyone's too late.
Never too late. You're right on time still. Very early still.
Okay, so you guys were here last year. During that time, you've added quite a lot of operators and a few aircraft brokers.
Yes.
How does it work? If I'm selling charter and someone comes to me saying I want to pay Bitcoin.
Very easily. Seamless, actually. So, as I said, we started with real estate, and originally the solution was very manual. So we're showing their clients a QR code. They would deposit mostly USDT and USDC, that are stable coins, supposed to be one-to-one with the US dollars. That's why it's the most popular currency to use for payments. And then we had the same kind of need coming from the FX and CFD industry, basically to help allow their clients to fund their brokerage account in crypto. FX and CFD is already like aviation, but maybe a different aspect, but very risky industry, so they don't want to add the risk of adding crypto processing to their industry, so they were relying on third-party companies like us, and it's thanks to them that we had to become more sophisticated and created Deus XPay, that is a payment gateway, all connected via API if you need to, but for the aviation industry it's a bit more manual too, but you just log in on your payment gateway and you create payment links. And you just literally have to say how much dollars you want in your bank account, the currency the client is going to pay into, which is 90% of the time USDT, and send the payment links to your client. They see the equivalent in crypto that they have to pay. You can put notes. You can make it look like a nice invoice, brand it with your logo, send it to your client. The clients pay. The crypto come to us, and as soon as the payment link is completed, it's converted automatically in your target currency. We do GBP, Euro, dollars, dirhams, Australian dollars, anything that you need. But it's very seamless for them to use Deus XPay,
So
or for the merchant to use Deus XPay.
if I'm a charter customer and I want to use Bitcoin
Yes.
or any other coin,
Mm.
Ethereum, Doge,
Yes. Doge, no.
okay,
We try to
Ethereum,
stay on top.
the blue chip.
Yeah, exactly.
And I book a flight. I say I want to pay in Ethereum. And what about the volatility?
This is true for Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're the only two volatile currency that we accept. But the risk always lies with the client. When you create the payment link, you just say how much dollars you want. The links refresh every 30 seconds to reflect the new market price. And if Bitcoin dips or increase, the price that they have to pay in Bitcoin will update directly on the link. Even if they do a partial payment, they will pay like first half of the payment link at 100K per Bitcoin. If it dips and it's 95, then they have to send more Bitcoin, and that's on them. Just have to pay faster. But the risk is never on the merchant. What you want in USD when you create your payment link is what you receive all the time.
And so the risks not. So if I'm an operator and I'm selling a charter for $150,000, the client pays in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You get the money.
Yes.
And then I get it guaranteed $150,000.
100%, yes.
How quickly?
It depends of the geography of your bank account, but usually it's 48 hours maximum. But the crypto payments is almost instant, for as fast as the blockchain can be. Different blockchains means different processing times. Like Bitcoin is the longest, and it can take up to 20 minutes to actually receive the money on our side because it has to go through like 5, 6 validators. USDT, USDC are the fastest. Ethereum network, Tron network, BSC network. Those are all different blockchains. Think of it as Swift and SEPA, for example, for those of you that don't know much about crypto. But different networks, different routes to send the payments means different processing times. But as soon as the client pays on the payment link, the crypto comes to us, it's converted automatically, it's done. Like in a few minutes, we have the money, the client cannot recall it, we make the conversion, and it's available for you on the platform to make the withdrawal to your bank account.
And what sort of customers want to pay in Bitcoin?
On our side, we see mainly two different demographics. You have what you would think of straight off the bat is the crypto rich kid or the people that made a lot of wealth in crypto. For example, I'm thinking about the client of one of our partners that has a lot of crypto available because of their business. Most of their clients pay for their services in crypto, so they have a lot and they need to spend it. Or a kid that bought Dogecoin, as you mentioned, 2 years ago and made tons of money and now doesn't know what to do with it. That's the first demography. The second one is anyone really out of the G7 countries from where it's difficult to send a wire fast. I'm thinking about the obvious Russia, but Lebanon, Egypt, South Africa, anywhere that has capital control, from where it's hard to send the wire out, those are the main demographics. And for anything, for aviation, for real estate, for yachting as well, we do the yachting conference with you too, so we have clients in yachting. It's the same everywhere, just so much faster and cheaper for them to have to rely on the banks, and I think everyone can confirm that waiting for a wire from a client that is not in any of the G7 countries can be a pain, can take a week if it ever lands for some countries. So it's much easier for them to actually buy crypto in their home country, send it to the merchant, and spend it like this.
And if someone wants to set up to take it, how quickly can you plug it in?
Matter of weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks. It depends on the complexity of your corporate structure. I think I have some new clients here where it took very long, but due to the complexity of the company structure, some of them have just one sole owner, so it takes a couple of days. We have a compliance team that is very hands-on and always finding solution to onboard clients.
And we've got a lot of lawyers in the room, and they're going, Is any of this regulated? How do you cover know your customer issues?
No, of course. So as much regulated as can be in crypto, it's still the early days for crypto companies and regulation. Now we're operating with the VASP license out of Lithuania. That is the best that you can do. It's a virtual asset service provider that allows us to do broker-dealer deals and payment deals in crypto and custody as well, to keep it on our books. Now we are on the finish line to get VARA in Dubai. This is the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority that is going to be the main regulator in crypto. So we have everything that comes with financial regulation, audits of books, audits of the company. I had to screen my CV. I had to go to an interview, for example, as with most of the management team. So it's as regulated as a bank could be.
And do you just see some of the hype's gone from crypto, I think, or a lot of the hype. Do you see it becoming even more common, or do you think it's always going to stay a niche?
I know it is becoming more common. I think personally that in 10, 15 years, everyone is going to be on crypto, or at least digital dollars. Everything is going to move to blockchain later, or sooner or later. So yeah, for me, it's going to become more mainstream.
And in this industry, you think it will become more common for charter?
Yeah, of course, everyone needs faster payments, right? I'm pretty sure that this year, the discussion that we have had yesterday and the day before at the cocktail is that there is more and more demand. Like the first time that we came to a CGI, I think was Dubai in 2022 or 2021. I was speaking a very foreign language to everyone. I had to explain what stable coins were. Now that's the first step that everyone more or less know what USDT is. The first reaction when we first came in at one of the CGI or Super Yacht events was like, Bitcoin is a scam. It's only used for speculation, so it's never going to go anywhere. But instead now people start to see a bit farther than just Bitcoin being used as a method of speculation, but really USDT as a method of payment for cross-border, and to me the most effective one, fastest, most secure. To come back to your KYC questions, I overlooked it, but we can see when we receive coins from one of your clients, we can see it's everywhere it has been since its creation. I can technically see one transaction ago where it has been. If it has been used for any fraudulent activity or anything that we could not like or not be comfortable about, like trading on the dark web, buying guns or drugs online, or being used in a country that is sanctioned, that we can see, we can flag, and we can reject, in the worst case quarantine. But I can literally see every time a coin comes in, I can see everywhere that it has been since the birth of that coin. So while we don't do KYC on your clients, that we leave that to you, we trust that you do it already. One of the main blockers in crypto is that crypto clients don't want to do that many KYC. They're already onboarded with you. They already give you passport and everything. So we don't do it twice. What we check is the cleanliness of the crypto. And that's it. But I can literally see everything on the blockchain.
And someone in the audience is asking, how do you store your crypto?
So we use one of the companies that I was working for in infrastructure. The main one is called Fireblocks. It's the company standard. Even BNP Paribas, HSBC, they have a contract with Fireblocks, and they are playing around with crypto a little bit. Well, they still froze my account in the UK for 2,000 GBP withdrawal from crypto. They are actually playing around with it and using the same technology of custody. It's built by engineers that are working on that, and it's all encrypted. The technology is called MPC. Multi-party computing, which means that the crypto wallets are secured by keys, a public key, a private key, that are sharded in 10 different places, and no one can actually recreate the key and access your coins. So it's a very, very secure technology.
When will more than half of all charter be paid for in crypto?
In a long time. I think maybe never, unless crypto become really mainstream, as I said, 15, 20 years. But for now, it's still very niche, I think. But we see it growing. I mean, the first clients that we signed were doing sales originally. It was one sale. Now we're working on the second sale together. For charter, it was maybe one transaction a month. Now the best clients are doing 10 a month. And it was the same that we're doing one a month a year and a half ago. So I can really see it growing. And again, really in geographies that are a bit more excluded for the banking system.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, one fun fact is I know that US Exim Bank has actually taken crypto funding payments, and I'm now going to hand over genuinely to Paul Jebley from Sterlington and Suar Cockabell from Air Finance, who are going to take us through export credit.